So what you hear, what we call salsa right now, is actually some music from Cuba in
Exactly.
a
So no.
style in a big band, but it's really not. Salsa is just a misnomer that was given to sort
Right.
of promote the music outside of Cuba when the is the particularly the blockage or the bloqueo, how do you say that, the blockade happened, and no longer Cuban musicians were able to travel. So Jerry Masucci and the and his peeps, with the finalist stars were like, well, we need to figure out a way to promote this music outside the country, and that's what ends up happening at the time. Specifically, what we call now, salsa within, but there's different interpretations of what we call this particular dance, which is not really. I mean, everybody's sort of dancing song, but in a different interpretation of
Right.
it.
Exactly. Right.
Venezuela, we kind of grew up dancing very similar to how Cubans dance. We had a little more footwork here and there, but it was never some of this back and forth that you see in the United States. It was more close position, and you would travel around in close position, which is very close to how song is danced in Cuba.
So
So
we say in the U.S. You mean I guess like that linear style?
linear
That
style, yeah,
okay.
that didn't really exist in Latin American country. At least in Venezuela, didn't
I
really.
get you.
The linear style actually comes from Lindy Hop and from other dances, and that has kind of translated to what we call salsa in this country. But it's
Is
not a Latin American thing. It's much more an American thing.
is linear? Is that maybe an L.A. influence? Do you know? Or
Some of it is in LA influence, but it's also all the other linear dances from the US influence.
okay,
So basically,
okay,
it's like picking up a linear dance and putting salsa on top on it. You know what I mean?
okay.
Kind of match with it. You know what I mean? So of course you use some of the shimmies and some of the other things that are you could tell are an American in their sense Cuban dance. But so when I got here, that's kind of like what I was dancing at some point. In this particular kind of close position, sometimes open position stuff, but not really quite what the linear dancers were doing. So a lot of times in the club, it was sometimes hard to.
I said I'm curious. Yeah,
Because people were asking you to dance on one, you dance on two, this particular linear, and I'm like, not really.
you just do
So
your own thing.
the crew of my friends who were mostly Afro Colombians, Afro Garifunas from how do you call it? Not from Honduras, Black Hondurans, and all these other people. We kind of dance the particular same way how we listen to that particular music, not this.
Right.
Also, we had our own thing going on at some point, even if we go to different clubs, even though each says. But we also learned the particular near style too, because you have to survive at the club. I think the first time when I started learning with Amanda and we actually learned in the Royal Casino form. So at that time we didn't really have the understanding of casinos, the dance versus Royal Casino. So it was hard for me. The transitions was pretty hard. Actually, she used to call me out all the time, Adrian, because I would miss. I mean, actually, I would miss the first call that I would miss is a Festival de Chufla. I couldn't get through Festival de Chufla without
Mm,
a mistake.
okay.
For the first years, I mean, she was always saying, Adrian, and it was basically doing the same move three times with a clap. That was
Hey.
all. But that to me was, what are you talking about? Like what? And at the same time, it's not that I'm ADD, but I have a lot of. I think I might be ADD. I mean, I just my attention is everywhere. So I think dance, in a sense, helped me sort of calm down a little bit and sort of be a little more focused. And I think I'm very forever thankful to her for that because, in a sense, through my years, I've always been a person that has been like everywhere,
okay.
and it works really well in many aspects. But to be able to just be focused on one thing, memorizing something, work in a group, trying to get it together is a quite a process that is
Of course.
life skills that you kind of use for many other parts of your life. So that, in a sense, helped me. And I think I read about it, and actually does. It just helps with your mental health. It helps with many aspects of your life that has been great up to now.
Yeah. I
So
definitely understand that.
some days I can actually focus and just be totally, concentrated in one thing.
Okay.
Sometimes I could do that well too, but sometimes.
I guess you. I definitely